Acho, what are your thoughts on Dak saying he's glad the criticism has come back?
I hate it. Is this Dak Durant, Kevin Prescott? It's like Dak. Dak's not a villain.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been a victim, but he's never been a villain in his life, right? Like, Dak Prescott has traversed some of the hardest things any human being can go through. I would say that Dak in his life has had to be a victim of several unfortunate circumstances, but Dak's not a villain. So don't try to take a villain role. Because then all of a sudden you get distracted trying to be something and somebody that you're not. Now, maybe Dak is. Maybe Dak is in his private life and the life that we don't know, but the life that Dak portrays to the media is a life of a hero. Like, Dak, what do you mean that you've been doubted your whole life? You the highest paid player this year? $75 million don't seem like a lot of doubt. I wish somebody would $75 million doubt me.
Doubt me a dime at a time, damn it.
I feel like I wish somebody would doubt me like that. Dak, you weren't doubted when the Cowboys benched their most beloved quarterback recent history, and Tony Romo, just to make sure you maintained your starting position. There was no doubt there. Sure, maybe you're doubted back in 2016 when they drafted you in the 4th round, but, I mean, being drafted in the 4th round still isn't a whole bunch of doubt. That only means we're about 120 players ahead of you. Anyway, I don't like this because, Dak's not a villain.
Say it again.
So don't come out here talking about, yeah, man, I love all that doubt. You get distracted at times when you try to play a role. Because when you try to play a role and when you are acting, you don't necessarily know how to act. So, Dak, you're trying to play this role as a villain, but it's not who you actually are, at least not who you publicly portray. So now you're going to forget how to act. Like, you don't need to be some sort of hero, some sort of like been doubted my whole life. No, have it. Not as of late. Not this new Dak Prescott. So I hate that he says he's glad the criticism has come back because, lastly, that means Dak Prescott has done something clearly worthy of criticism. Bad play. If he had been balling, we wouldn't be criticizing. We ain't criticizing Brady right now. We ain't criticizing Rodgers right now. We ain't even criticizing Stafford right now. So with that being said, I hate it.
Oh, man, not many things that get me to say what you just said, but I hate it as well. Not many things. I hate this. For Dak, I hate this for anybody. And I don't have to know Dak very well to know that I hate this. And anyone who subscribes to just this. Let me just say this on record. Nobody who has ever lived in this world has ever raised their hand with their own volition and said, hey, criticize me, doubt me. Hey, I want to be an underdog. Not a damn person that ever lived in this world. But what happens is, whether it is your circumstance or it's just your reality, you sometimes have to live through that. You have to survive and then thrive. So no one has ever said, let me pay a subscription to the doubt. Let me actually be the one that the world lands on. You want to look at the world, you want to land on Plymouth Rock, not let Plymouth Rock land on you. And Dak Prescott has now told me, as the therapist I am not, oh, it finally got to you, Dak. Because like you said, we have never heard Dak talk like this, no matter what adversities come his way. Dak has always found a brilliant, sophisticated way to just maneuver around it, at least in his words. But now, even his words get him in trouble with this one. I know what he's trying to say. Let me help him out. He's trying to say, no matter what's come my way in terms of adversity, I've responded. That's great. But what came out was, I kind of like these problems. It motivates me. It gets me going. That takes me to my upbringing. That takes me to my reality. That takes me to how I grew up. And I lived the story of the underdog, right? And let me tell you, it's for the birds. There were many a times I was sitting there saying, I love you, Mama, I love you, Daddy, but damn, I wish y'all had a little more than this. I ain't gonna lie. You know why? Because what I had to live through was real life experiences. The doubt comes with circumstances. The doubt manifests. It manifests when people don't believe you. Oh, you're smart? For that area. The doubt comes from when you have to walk out your house and the bushes are moving, and it ain't because somebody in the bushes. It's because the bullets are hitting them. And you trying to find your way out of that situation to survive, then thrive. I hate when people just act like they want the smoke. People always want the smoke until it's time to breathe. And then when it's time to breathe in the smoke, you start realizing it's hard as hell to breathe in it. Excuse me. Here's the point. Ain't nobody raising their hand for this. Dak, you did not want to struggle of late to get to a place where all of a sudden you're going to deal with hate, and all of a sudden to get to a place where now you're motivated. Love is in this world, hate is in this world. You really gonna raise your hand for the hate? Come on, bruh. Just admit it. It's kind of hard. Keep your hand up for the love.
That's real. The mouth speaks, but the guilty conscience screams.
Oh, we got something.
The mouth is going to speak.
Little ism.
But that guilty conscience, it's going to scream. And right now, Dak Prescott's guilty conscience is screaming. Dak, those who have been criticizing you have been criticizing you prior to this struggle. We come on the show every day. I'm usually, based on the public's perception, anti-Dak Prescott.
I've heard.
And Sel is pro-Dak Prescott.
That's my dog.
My stance hasn't really changed. Sel just now calls it like it is a little bit, so he's been a little meaner to Dak Prescott based on what people would say. But our criticism ain't really gotten any louder or any lesser. It's been the same.
Yeah.
Dak, people said you should have been MVP throughout the duration of this season. What criticism? Okay, so the criticism that should matter should come from within. But the most important person to the Cowboys organization's history, Jerry Jones, he ain't criticized you, Dak, because he went out there and criticized all the wide receivers in an effort to avoid criticizing you. Third highest paid player on the Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, he didn't criticize you. Because on his Tuesday press conference, he said, we all need to be better. Everybody on offense needs to pick it up. So, Dak Prescott, why are you screaming, big dog? That guilty conscience is going to get you. Sel, we've talked about this before.
We have?
People tweet hate at you and I all of the time, nonstop. It's kind of comical at this point. I like it a little bit. Lets me know they watch it. But here's what I've realized about the hate, Sel.
What?
If people hate me for something I'm confident in, it doesn't even faze me. Oh, Acho don't know how to dress. Acho, why you flooding in your pants? Acho, I'm just like, bruh, y'all don't know nothing.
Y'all don't know
nothing.
this
Because this is where my confidence is.
That's very
But if somebody's like, Acho, why you always yelling at the screen? I'm like, uh-oh, am I yelling? Because I am subconscious of the fact that sometimes I project a little too loudly.
That's a vulnerable moment. I appreciate that. Talk to me, man. This show's going places. Talk.
Therapy. Dak Prescott, the only reason he has acknowledged this criticism, because he didn't acknowledge criticism in the first 12, 13 weeks of the season, though he still got it, because Dak Prescott, your boy's still been here being critical of you. Only reason he's acknowledging it now, because he knows he's guilty. Because a hit dog is going to holler.
Oh, holler. Oh.
Dak Prescott hollering right now.
Man, he hollering right now. He is hollering, but I have to push back on you. I'm not meaner to Dak. I'm just the mirror to Dak. When Dak deserved all the support, the pro Marcellus approach, he got it because he was balling out of control when he was 5-1, 73 completion percentage, 8.4 yards per pass, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 115 passer rating.
Yes, sir.
Pro Marcellus. But then everyone wants to all of a sudden say, now you're being meaner. No, it's just a mirror because now you're 3-3 in the last 6. 63 completion percentage. 8 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. That's kind of too close for me. 82 passer rating. I got to call it like I see it, big dog. And how I see it is there's a thin line between love and hate.
Yes, sir.
The reason why I don't care if you hate me or love me, because one, I love me so much I can't hear what you talking about, whether you love me or not. And I learned this both ways when I was on top. And everybody loved me. And then when I was coming down the hill, it got a little lighter. You know how I came down the hill so fast? Because people were jumping off the car, jumping out the train, jumping off the ship. And I was like, damn. And I realized, dog, people, it's a thin line between what they really feeling and what they can't feel.
Talk about it.
Now let's talk about Dak Prescott in this situation. Man, bruh, I love you too much for you to be out here waxing poetic about negativity. I hate when people do that. And you know when this really became vivid for me? When I got to college. When I got to college and people were trying to be understated. I mean, I went to Columbia with cats who had millions, billionaires, kids, heiress, etc., and they like trying to be understated. When I was just trying to be stated, you know what I'm saying? When I was going around with people who were like, oh, you know what? I want to be unassuming. I want to be assumed. I wanted to just get to the place where it felt like the love instead of like waxing poetic about the hate. So when I hear someone who's like trying to be over tough, like Dak right now is like, oh, I like the hate. When someone's like, I don't give a damn what y'all think, I'm like, oh, bruh, don't do that. I don't give a damn. Whoever out there, they can get it. Oh, don't do that. Oh, this is going to make me feel better. Negative is going to make you feel better. I give it to them like they gave it to me in math because I was a math genius. I ain't going to lie. I wasn't a genius in much, but damn, I could tear up some math. If you have a positive and you multiply it by 1,000,000 positives, it's all positive.
No.
You add one negative to that equation and multiply it. All of a sudden, it went negative. Dak, don't let this get to you, big dog. And it's okay if you admit it, like Acho just did. I didn't know that Twitter was handling it.
It's hard out here.